The Kua family owned 3 factories with production rates of 20, 20, and 20 widgets. These widgets must be shipped to the 4 grand malls in Mindanao that had a demand of 12, 14, 16, and 18. In the table below, it shows the cost of ship between each locations. We will solve the problem using the northwest corner method. So in solving this method, we will solve first the left upper side to the bottom right side. So we have a demand of 12 and a supply of 20. So the minimum cost is 12. So we will put 12 side of the first cell, then 12 minus 12 is equals to 0. Then the supply 20 minus 12 is equals to 8. So we have a remaining cost 8. So next, this column is satisfied. Next column, we have a demand of 14 as a supply of 8. So we will put 8 side of the second cells. Then 14 minus 8 is equals to 6. Then this row is satisfied. Then we have a remaining demand of 6. So we have a supply 20. So we will put the minimum cost 6 to the upper side of the number 14. So we have satisfied in this column. So 20 minus 6 is equals to 14. After that, we will move to the another column. So we have a demand of 16 and a supply of 14. So we have a minimum cost of 14. So we will put 14. Then 16 minus 14 is equals to 2. Then 14 minus 14 is 0. So we are satisfied in this row. Then after that, we have a demand of 2 and a supply of 20. So the minimum cost is 2, so we will put 2. Then 2 minus 2 is 0, so we are satisfied in this column. Then 20 minus 2 is equals to 18. Then the last column, we have a demand of 18 and a supply of 18. Therefore, we will put 18 and both demand and supply are satisfied. After that, we will count how many occupied cells. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 occupied cells. After knowing the occupied cells, we will count the total cost. So we have 6 times 12 plus 7 times 8 plus 14 times 6 plus 10 times 14 plus 4 times 2 plus 2 times 18. So we have 72 plus 56 plus 84 plus 410 plus 8 plus 36. So our total cost is 396. The next method is the least cost method. From the word least, it is the smallest number. So we will find the smallest number in our table. So we have 2. Number 2. So we will decide which one we will going to use. So I decided to choose the number 2 in the upper. So we have a demand of 18 and a supply of 20. So the minimum cost is 18. So we will put 18. Then 18 minus 18 is 0 and 20 minus 18 is equals to 2. So we have the answer of 0. So this column is satisfied. Then we will find another small number. So this number 2 is satisfied, so we will not include this. So we will find another. So we have number 3. So in the number 3, we have a demand of 14 and a supply of 20. So the minimum cost is 14. So we will put 14. So we have 14 minus 14 is 0. So we are satisfied. Then 20 minus 14 is equals to 6. Then after that, we will find another smallest number. So we have number 4. So in number 4, we have a demand of 16 and a supply of 6. So the minimum cost is 6. So we will put 6. So we are satisfied in this row. So 16 minus 6 is equals to 10. Then we will find another number. So we have 5, but this is satisfied, so we will not choose this. So we have another number 5. So this is not satisfied, so we can include this. So we have a demand of 10 and a supply of 2. So the minimum cost is 2. So we will put 2. And then 10 minus 2 is 8. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. So this row is satisfied. Then we will find another number. So we have 2 remaining numbers, number 10 and number 12. So the smallest numbers in these 2 numbers that are remaining is number 10. So we have a demand of 8 and a supply of 20. So the minimum cost is 8. So we will put 8. So 8 minus 8 is 0. And then 20 minus 8 is 12. So this column is satisfied. So we have a remaining number, number 12, having a demand of 12 and a supply of 12. So we will put 12, and both demand and supply is satisfied. Then after that solving, we will count how many occupied cells. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 occupied cells. Then we will know after that the total cost. So we have 5 times 2 plus 2 times 18 plus 12 times 12 plus 10 times 8 plus 3 times 14 plus 4 times 6. So we will solve this. So we have 10 plus 36 plus 144 plus 80 plus 42 plus 24. So overall, we have a total cost of 336. So now we have a VOGEL'S approximation model, or VAM. So in this method, we add a row penalty and a column penalty. So in solving this method, we will find, or we will choose, the two smallest number in every column and row. And after that, we will subtract. So in this column, we have the smallest number 5 and 6. So we will subtract these two numbers. 6 minus 5 is equals to 1. And then in this column, we have 3 and 7. So 7 minus 3 is equals to 4. Then next, we have 4 and 5. So 5 minus 4 is equals to 1. Then in this column, we have same number, 2 and 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Then in this row, we have 2 and 5. So 5 minus 2 is equals to 3. And then in this row, we have 10 and 12. So 12 minus 10 is 2. Then in this row, we have 2 and 3. So we have 1. And after that, we will find the biggest number on our penalties. So we have 4. So we will encircle this as a sign of a notice. So this 4 belong in the second column. So we will find the smallest number in the second column. So we have 3. So the demand is 14 and the supply is 20. So the minimum cost is 14. So we will put 14. And then 14 minus 14 is equals to 0. 20 minus 14 is equals to 6. So this column is satisfied. After that, we will do it again. So 5 minus 6 is 1. So we are satisfied in this column. So we will put an hyphen. Then 5 minus 4 is 1. Then 2 minus 2 is 0. So in the row penalty, this column is satisfied. So we would not include this. So we have 2 and 5. So 3. And then 10 and 12. So 2. In this row, we have 2 and 4 because 3 is not included. So we have 2. After that, find the biggest number in every penalties. So we have 3. Then find the smallest number in the row that 3 belong. So we have 2. So we have a demand of 18 and a supply of 20. So the minimum cost is 18. So we will put 18. So 18 minus 18 is 0. 20 minus 18 is 2. Then do it again. So we have 1. Then it's satisfied. And then 1. So this column is 0. So it means it is satisfied. So hyphen. And then in this row, we have 2 satisfied column. So we only have two columns to solve. So the two numbers are 5 and 6. So we have 1. Then 10 and 12 is 2. Then 4 and 5 is 1. So the biggest number is 2. Then find the smallest number. So we have 10 and 12. So 10 is the smallest. So we have a demand of 16 and a supply of 20. So the minimum cost is 16. So we will put 16. After that, it becomes 0. So this column is satisfied. Then 20 minus 16 is equals to 4. Then after that, do it again. So we have 1. And then it is satisfied. Then this column is satisfied. So we will put hyphen. And then hyphen. Then after that, we have one remaining column. So we will copy number 6. And then number 12. And then number 5. So find the biggest number. So we have 12. So we have 12. And then the demand is 12. And the supply is 4. So we will put the number 4. Because 4 is the minimum cost. So 0. So it means this row is satisfied. Then 12 minus 4 is equals to 8. Then next, do it again. So we have 6 and 5. So it's 1. Then satisfied. So hyphen, hyphen. Then we have 6. Then this row is satisfied. So hyphen. And then 5. Then after that, the biggest number is 6. So we have in the first row, so we have a demand of 8 and a supply of 2. So we will put number 2 because 2 is the minimum cost. So 8 minus 2 is 6. And then the supply is 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. So we have one remaining number. So 5. And 5 here. So we have a demand of 6 and a supply of 6. So we will put 6. So it means demand and supply is both satisfied. After that, we will find the occupied cells. We will count the occupied cells. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 occupied cells. Then the total cost. So we have 6 times 2. 6 times 2. Then 2 times 18 plus 2 times 18. And then we have 12 times 4. And then we have 10 times 16. Then we have 5 and 6. The last one is 3 and 14. So we will total this. So we have 12 plus 36 plus 48 plus 610 plus 30 and lastly plus 46. So overall, we have a total of 328. So this is the total cost of our VOGEL'S approximation model. So we have to solve the Moody. So in Moody, we will use the table that we have in VOGEL'S, or the result in VOGEL'S approximation model, or VAP. So we have 6, 2, 12, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 14, 10 and 16, and 2 and 18. So we let our U1 as 0. So we will solve first the use roots, or the numbers or cells that are occupied. So we let this F1 as U1, then F2 as U2, F3 as U3, this GM1 as V1, GM2 as V2, GM3 as V3, and GM4 as V4. So we have occupied cells, the U1 and V1. So the formula is Cij is equals to Ui plus Vj. So we have Ui plus U1 plus V1, so because this is our occupied cells. So our Cij is 6, so we will put 6. So we have a value of U1 which is 0. So we will solve for V1. So V1 is equals to the Cij, which is 6, minus the value of U1 is 0. So V equals 6. Then the next one is U1 and V4. So U1 plus V4 is equals to Cij of 2. So we have value of U1, so we have to find the value of V4 is equals to the Cij of 2 minus the value of U1 is 0 is equals to 2. Then the next one is the U2 and the V1. So we have U2 plus V1 is equals to, we have a Cij of 12. So we have a value for V1. We have the value of V1 6. So we will find the value of U2. So U2 is equals to the value, the Cij of 12 minus the value of V1 which is 6 is equals to 6. Then after that we have the next one, the U2 and the V3. So we put U2 plus V3 is equals to U2 and V3. We have a Cij of 10. So we have the value of U2, so we will find the value of V3. So the Cij is 10 minus the value of U2 which is 6 is equals to 10 minus 6 is equals to 4. Then after the U2 V3 we have U3 V1. U3 plus V1 is equals to the Cij which is 5. So we have the value of V1, so we will find the value of V3. So we have a U3. U3 is equals to the Vij, which is 5, minus the value of V1, which is 6, is equals to 5 minus 6 is equals to negative 1. Then we have U3 and V2. So U3 plus V2 is equals to the Cij of 3 so we have the value of U3, so we will find the value of V2. So V2 is equals to the Cij of 3 minus the value of U3, which is negative 1, is equals to 3 minus negative 1 is equals to 4. So we will put the value of every row. So we have the U2, which is 6, then the U3, which is negative 1, then for V1 we have 6, V2 we have 4, V3 we have 4, then V4 we have 2. So these are the value. So next we will find the value for the unused rows. Unused rows, or the cells that are not occupied. So we have the U1 and the V2. U1 and V2 is equals to the Cij of 7 minus the value of U1, which is 0, plus the value of V2, which is 4. So U1 V2 is equals to 7 minus 0 plus 4 is equals to 0 plus 4 is equals to 4. So 7 minus 4 is equals to 3. Then next is the U1 and V3. So U1 V3 is equals to the Cij of 5 minus the value of U1, which is 0, plus the value of V3 is 4. So 0 plus 4 is equals to 4. So 5 minus 4 is equals to 1. Then after that we have U2 and V2. So U2 V2 is equals to the Cij of 14 minus the value of U2, which is 6, plus the value of V2, which is 4, is equals to 6 plus 4 is equals to 10. So 14 minus 10 is equals to 4. Then the next one we have U2 and V4. So U2 V4 is equals to the Cij of 12 minus the value of U2, which is 6, plus the value of V4, which is 2, is equals to 6 plus 2 is equals to 8. So 12 minus 8 is equals to 4. The next one, which is U3 V3. So U3 V3 is equals to the Cij of 4 minus the value of U3, which is negative 1, plus the value of V3, which is 4, is equals to negative 1 plus 4 is equals to 3. So 4 minus 3 is equals to 1. Then the last one we have U3 V4. U3 V4 is equals to the Cij of 2 minus the value of U3 which is negative 1. Then the value of V4 which is 2. So negative 1 plus 2 is equals to 1. 2 minus 1 is equals to 1. So since we have no negative, therefore there is no possibility to reduce the total cost.